Your hospital gave you a $10,000 sign-on bonus. Congrats. The money lands, you check your pay stub, and about $2,200 of it is gone, 22%. It's annoying, but it tracks with what most people say about bonus taxes. That 22% is not what your bonus actually costs you. A $10,000 nurse sign-on bonus actually loses between about 29 and 39% to taxes, depending on your state and your base pay. I'm going to show you exactly where the rest of it goes and one clause in your contract that can cost you far more than any of this. First, where that 22% even comes from, because it's not what most people think. When your employer pays you something that isn't your regular base wage, such as a sign-on bonus, the IRS calls that a supplemental wage. And Publication 15 from the IRS lets your employer withhold on it a flat rate instead of running numbers through your normal W-4 that you actually, when you got hired and actually filled out before you got paid. For supplemental wages that are under $1 million a year, that flat rate is 22%. That's the origin of the number, but it's not a calculation about you. It's a default your employer payroll system applies to every bonus it processes. The same rate for a surgeon and a new grad. So it's the reason your bonus looks smaller than you expected. It's also still not the full reason. Just wait, there's more. Two more things come out of a bonus that the 22% doesn't cover. First is FICA at 7.65% for Social Security and Medicare. A sign-on bonus is wages, so payroll taxes hit exactly the same way they hit your shift pay. On a $10,000 bonus, that's $765 every time in every state. Second is state income tax, anywhere from 0 to about 9%, depending on where you work. Stack those on the 22%, and the floor is already 29.65%, even in a state with no income tax at all. Here's a nurse making $45 an hour working 3/12s. The $10,000 sign-on bonus, and in Texas, no state income tax, she keeps $7,035. Pennsylvania, $6,728. Colorado, $6,595. New York, $6,467. California, $6,105. Same bonus, same nurse, $930 spread between Texas and California. Created nothing but by a state tax code. Now the part that almost nobody explains, and it's the part that actually is worth more money to you. Tax withholding is an estimate. It's your employer guessing at what you'll owe. What you actually owe gets decided at your marginal tax rate when you file your taxes, and for a lot of nurses, those two numbers rarely match. If you're a part-time or lower earning nurse, the 22% actually over-withholds, and you get it back at tax time or tax refunds. Take a nurse that makes $22 or $32 an hour working 24-hour shift a week. Her federal taxable income is around $23,800. That's at the 12% tax bracket. The real federal tax on a $10,000 bonus is $1,200, but payroll withheld $2,200. That's $1,000 of your money sitting with the IRS until you file your taxes. Now the other direction, a nurse at $60 an hour working 3/12s has a federal taxable income of about $96,220 for the year. Add the bonus and she lands at $106,220 for the year, which crosses the 24% tax bracket. So part of that bonus gets taxed at 24%, not 22%. It's a small miss, but it's a miss in the other direction that produces a surprise tax bill instead of a refund. So the lesson isn't that the 22% is wrong. It's a guess that has nothing to do with your specific situation. And you want to know which direction it's wrong before you actually go and plan money around it. Now the expensive one. Almost every nursing sign-on bonus comes with a commitment, usually 1 to 2 years, and a repayment clause if you leave early. If you go and read the clause and what it says you owe, most of them are written in gross dollars. You receive $6,595 after taxes. The contract says you repay $10,000. If you leave in the same tax year, your employer can usually unwind the withholding, and it comes out roughly even. But if you leave in a later tax year, you're repaying money you never actually held, And getting the tax back is a separate issue that's considerably more annoying because you're dealing with the IRS. This is the most expensive thing, the entire sign-on bonus conversation, and it's the thing that's least likely to come up when you're being offered the job. So if you're weighing a bonus against a commitment you're not sure about, make sure you get that clause in writing and talk to a tax professional before you sign any offer. So is a sign-on bonus worth taking? Often, yes, but compare it correctly. That $10,000 sign-on in Colorado is worth $6,595 to you, but put it against a competing offer paying $3 more per hour. Those 312s for a whole year, that's $5,616 in extra gross pay every year versus $6,500 just once. The raise wins in year 2 and never stops winning. That's the comparison that matters, and it's the one the offer letter is not built to help you make. A sign-on bonus is a one-time number that's sitting next to reoccurring numbers, and that's not an accident. Everything I just showed you assumes a single filer, 312s, no 401k, no health premiums. Your version is likely different, so go run your numbers. The paycheck calculator on Gemma is free. The link's down in the description below. Go put your real base pay, your shifts, your differentials, your state, and the sign-on bonus that you got under the annual extras. And it will show you exactly or actually what lands in your bank account. And if you're a licensed working nurse, pay it forward and share your real number. The tax math on the bonus, that's knowable. What isn't knowable from a job posting is whether that bonus is covering for a rate that's under market to begin with. That only comes from nurses like you telling each other the truth. That's the whole point of Gemma, and that's why Gemma exists. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.